Long before the grand stone pyramids of Egypt crumbled, deep in the steaming jungles of Mesoamerica, another civilization quietly began to rise. Today, we call them the Maya, but to themselves, they were simply the people of the corn, children of the gods, and keepers of sacred time. Their story begins more than 3,000 years ago, around 2000 BCE, along the lowlands of what is now southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. While most of the world still lived in scattered tribal groups, the Maya were already planting maize, building villages, and gazing up at the night sky with wonder. From the fertile river valleys and lush forests, they shaped the foundations of one of humanity's most remarkable civilizations. They learned to cultivate maize, beans, and squash, developing intricate farming techniques like slash-and-burn agriculture and terraced fields. Their success allowed their populations to grow, and with it came the spark of something far greater. By 1000 BCE, the first great ceremonial centers began to appear. The site of Nakbe rose from the jungle floor, its pyramids made of stone carried by human hands, stacked block by block in the blistering heat. These were not just buildings. They were symbols, built to connect the earthly world to the divine heavens. As the centuries passed, the Maya world expanded like a living organism. Dozens of city-states emerged across the lowlands, each ruled by powerful kings who claimed descent from the gods themselves. Unlike many ancient empires, the Maya were not a single unified kingdom. They were a network, a constellation of rival cities bound together by trade, culture, and sacred beliefs. By 500 BCE, they had already mastered writing, one of the only true writing systems developed in the Americas. They carved their history into stone stelae and painted it on bark paper codices, records of kings, wars, dynasties, astronomy, and time itself. For the Maya, history was sacred. To record it was not just memory, it was prophecy. Time was the heartbeat of their civilization. They observed the movements of the sun, moon, planets, and stars with stunning precision. They tracked eclipses, predicted solstices, and built their pyramids to align with celestial events. Their calendar system, more accurate than the European calendar of the Middle Ages, reflected a worldview where time was cyclical, endlessly reborn. By 250 CE, the Maya had stepped fully into their classic period, a golden age of art, architecture, and power. Towering temples soared above the jungle canopy. Palaces lined the plazas. Carved stone monuments proclaimed the deeds of kings, while vibrant murals depicted courtly life and sacred rituals. Their cities rivaled the greatest of the ancient world. The Maya built without metal tools, wheels, or draft animals, yet they engineered massive pyramids that still stand after more than 1,000 years. They constructed complex reservoirs and causeways, proving their mastery of both stone and water. At the heart of every city lay a ball court where ritual games were played to honor the gods and decide the fate of rulers. This was a civilization of astonishing sophistication, but also of fierce competition. The Maya city-states constantly struggled for dominance, forging alliances through marriage and shattering them with war. Kings rose and fell in cycles as predictable as their sacred calendars. Blood, they believed, was the most precious offering, and rulers drew their own blood in rituals to feed the gods. Yet despite their wars, the Maya shared a powerful common identity. They spoke dozens of dialects but understood each other's glyphs. They worshipped the same pantheon of gods, of maize, rain, death, and rebirth. They believed their ancestors lived in the stars, and that their duty was to keep the universe in balance. By the end of the first millennium CE, the Maya world stretched from highland mountains to coastal plains. Their influence reached across hundreds of miles. They had transformed dense, untamed jungle into an intricate landscape of cities, fields, and sacred monuments. The rise of the Maya was not just the birth of a civilization. It was the birth of an idea that humanity could shape time, space, and nature into something eternal. But as their power grew, so did the shadows of their fate. The same jungles that fed their people would one day reclaim their cities. The same cycles they worshipped would one day bring their downfall. For now, though, the Maya stood triumphant, masters of stone, sky, and time, and their golden age was about to begin.